Here's a thought as we all go to bed. Um, David Cameron has been resurrected. This is a political miracle, and that probably is a good thing, a positive. Sacking Suella Braverman was an inevitability, and it had to come sooner rather than later. Maybe it's come too late to actually do any real good, and maybe this reshuffle finally emerging is a statement of a government that is like a clapped out car running on fumes only. But it might just inch forward for a little bit longer. The only woman coming into the cabinet, into the drinks cabinet, is Victoria Atkins, who is from the Liberal wing of the party, and the sort of the bashers from the right wing have been driven out of the cabinet. So the if there is a political strategy, it's that Rishi Sunak. I was going to say David Cameron, but it's going to be very difficult for Rishi Sunak and David Cameron to be told apart. What would we call David Cameron? Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, uh, for Foreign Secretary. It's going to be very difficult. The nomenclature and the feeling of two prime ministers in the same room. It's a little bit like one of those Doctor Who adventures. Just imagine if Rishi Sunak got Theresa May back. It would be like the Three Doctors, wouldn't it? Which one would we have trapped in a television screen? Like the first Doctor, trapped in a television screen, while Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee got on with the real job of doing the business. But there we are. Maybe that's who Theresa May is, or maybe it would be Liz Truss trapped in a sort of broom cupboard, waving her hands around, or like Tom Baker, just replaced with a waxwork. I don't know. As you can imagine, I'm looking forward to Doctor Who's return. The thought that Esther McVeigh has been plucked from GB News obscurity back into a new job, and that she may be the voice to appeal to the Red Wall voters, rather than Lee Anderson, that unprincipled twit. But I don't know. I don't know whether this is a lineup that can really do some serious good for our country in the time that is left, or whether it is simply going to be rearranging the deck chairs. Even though James Cleverly can be affable, even though yes, it's going to be a very affable cabinet, isn't it? James Cleverly, David Cameron, Rishi Sunak. That's affability writ large, and silence, of course, from Jeremy Hunt, who just gets down and knows his place. But of course, Jeremy Hunt was somebody who was promoted by David Cameron. So I'm not really sure what this is, but I have a fancy. I have a fancy it's not all it's cracked up to be, and I feel somebody's just thrown some glitter in my eyes, and I'm still blinking. It's taken an entire day to get over this blinking issue. But anyway, there we are. Yeah, I think it's time for bed.